It is often said that the real power is held by people outside politics and behind the scenes who dictate how the country is run. If at all such people exist, Charles Njonjo would be one of them. The man's contribution to the country has outlived him, and he has lived to enjoy the fruits of his work. He is a pillar to the judicial system as much as he is criticized in equal measure for some of his controversial decisions while he was Attorney General. Well, a man is not a man without his mistakes. At 100 years, there are many good and other not so good things that will blow your mind. These are top 10 facts about Kenya's former Attorney General, the late Sir Charles Njonjo, that will blow up your mind. At the dawn of independence in Kenya, not so many people were privileged to have had the kind of education Charles Njonjo had. That's why it was no problem for him to navigate in key government positions, such as Attorney General, Cabinet Minister, and Member of Parliament. Since he has been a relevant figure in the political spheres of the Kikuyu community and the country at large. These are 10 facts about Charles Njonjo that will blow your mind. Number 1. 100 years and going strong. Top is his birthday that was recently celebrated. Sir Charles Njonjo, born on the 23rd of January in 1920, which makes him a century old this year. He just celebrated his 100th birthday, and surprisingly, by the time of his death, he was still as strong as his youth. Many would imagine that at 100 years, an individual's health will be compromised and senses such as sight and hearing will be falling. Look at Njonjo. People have to reevaluate their lives and establish what they can do to live that long. You cannot be luck only. Number 2 is the only surviving member of First Cabinet. Charles Njonjo, by the time of his death, happened to be the only one alive amongst individuals who constituted Kenya's first cabinet in 1963. Just a young lawyer at the time, Mr. Njonjo had aligned himself as an ally of the first president, Jomo Kenyatta. At the time, he was probably younger than his peers in the cabinet. It explains why he was still the only one remaining. Number 3. He was Kenya's first Attorney General from 1963 until 1979, when he stepped down. Apart from aligning himself with the first president, he had proven that he would maintain stability by maintaining some of the policies that had been put in place by the whites. He did not leave public service as he was appointed the Cabinet of Constitutional Affairs the following year, and he served up to 1983. Number 4. He married at the age of 52. Charles Njonjo is a family man, but many will be surprised to learn that he did not marry until his 50s. Many wonder why he chose to remain single, considering he was rich and powerful his entire life. Some have argued that the first president, Jomo Kenyatta, is the one who forced him into marriage because the president did not like the idea of having a bachelor as an attorney general. Njonjo was waiting to settle down until he could find the woman he would settle down the rest of his life with. He finally found a woman named Margaret Bryson Njonjo, and the two had 3 children. His children are Emma Njonjo, Mary Njonjo, and Josiah David. If you come along Charles Njonjo family, he has a beautiful family that does not shy away from sharing the love they have for one another. Number 5. 3-piece suit. Behind it's a funny story that earned him the titles Sir Charles Njonjo and the Duke of Cabeteshire. This is because he became famous for all things British. It included pinstripe suits with the red label that became the trademark of his dressing. He has made it known that he buys suits only from London. He had an impact on many Kenyans when it comes to dressing, and it is not surprising seeing politicians and even media personalities dressing the same. The only difference is that he has been consistent from the beginning. Number 6. He resigned from Attorney General to become an MP. It is speculated that Charles was aiming for a higher seat from the start. To begin with, his father was getting old, and he had pressured him to succeed President Kenyatta. On the other hand, he was powerful enough as Attorney General, but that won't get him to the State House. When the time was ripe, he stepped down to run for the parliamentary seat. Unfortunately for him, President Moi had other ideas, and out of office, Njonjo became a soft target to take the blame for the 1982 failed coup. He would later be pardoned by Moi, but his rise to the top would never come to pass. Number 7. Post-multi-party democracy. In his wisdom, Njonjo was not a supporter of multi-party democracy. For beginners, he did not even attempt to repeal oppressive laws such as the Public Order Act that put restrictions on Kenyans from assembling. Media freedom also restricted, with those speaking against the government of the day getting it rough. Political dissenters were locked up without trial for minor offenses, and thus Kenya became a single-party dictatorship. Number 8. He was not a fan of African constituted judiciary. Njonjo did not like the idea of African judges in the judiciary. He ensured that the colonial and the conservative constitution passed to Kenyans remained the same. He believed that the nation was young and perhaps informed by cases on the continent where dictators had risen and led their countries to war. He decided Kenya was worth living the way it was. Number 9. Wealth. In Kenya, politics is synonymous with riches. Even though Njonjo came from a wealthy family in the pre-colonial era, his various positions in government have earned him a real fortune. He is said to be among the richest men in Kenya, worth billions. It's not easy to pin down Charles Njonjo's net worth, but some of his properties including Sakara Hotel, a mall in Rwanda, shares at CFC Holdings, among many other houses and cars. Although not many have found their way into Charles Njonjo's house, it's not secret that he has a taste for fine things and he lived like a king. Number 10. Eating healthy and keeping fit. Many might question how Njonjo managed to remain healthy even at his advanced age. You won't be surprised to see him driving himself to the office even at 100 years old. So what was his secret? Word is, he used to swim regularly. He was a fan of swimming, riding bicycles, and also spent some time on treadmill. In addition to that, he stuck to a lot of vegetables and no nyama choma in his diet. It is not easy to follow Charles Njonjo's diet by giving up meat. The son of colonial paramount chief, Charles Njonjo went on a soar in heights. Not even his father, Josiah Njonjo. He went on to good schools, including Alliance High School and the University of Fort Hare. Immediately he came back, he put his law education into use, and it wasn't long before the country had the first black attorney general in Charles Njonjo. The rest is a story worth putting in a book, but Njonjo had insisted that he will take his story to the grave with him. Other than that, he is celebrated for his accomplishments both as a family man and a public figure in his country, Kenya. Thank you so much for your views. Please subscribe for more updates on my next videos. Thank you so much for watching.